everyone, it's Lisa. Thank you for joining me today. In today's video, I'm going to be making a card with this oven mitt die set from the Stamps of Life. This die set also makes a card shaped like an oven mitt, also known as a pot holder. And it has 3 pieces. So you have your die that cuts out your pattern, and then you have these other 2 dies. This particular die, the largest die in the set, cuts out your shadow. So this is your shadow layer, or it also cuts out your card base, and I'll show you how to do that a little bit later. Now this die by itself will cut out just a solid piece of cardstock, so you see that, as well as these layering pieces for the bottom of the pot holder or oven mitt. And this die cuts out the fun pattern that you see on it, so a bunch of dashed lines going across. You need both of these dies to cut out that pattern, so you would have to layer your dies just like this, and you would get the actual pattern cut out as well as these bottom pieces. So these dies don't layer. You can see these are the same size. So you can either have your oven mitt with the pattern like this, layered onto your shadow layer, or without. So if you wanted to do a solid and maybe do some pattern paper, you can do that and use it with or without that fun pattern. It's simply up to you. Now this die set is a larger die set. It actually makes a 5x7 card. So when you do use it as a card base, it will make a 5x7 card, or you can put this on the front of a 5x7 card if you wanted to. You can also use this on a scrapbook page. So I'm going to go ahead and start by making my card, and I'm going to use the pattern. So you notice how I dropped in this pattern die into the next larger size outline die, and I'm die cutting on some ocean cardstock. This will be my shadow layer, which I'm die cutting on kiwi cardstock. So here's my die cut pieces, and I'm going to take this ocean piece and just put some ink along the edges just to add some texture and some dimension. Now I also want to come in and add some ink just down these pattern lines. So I'm just taking a slightly different brush and just doing a diagonal pattern. I wish I had a smaller brush, but I don't. So we're going with this. It's a little bit larger, but you can see how it just adds some texture to those lines. I'm going to go ahead and add glue and add this to its shadow. So I'm going to be using the pineapple to stamp dies, not the actual stamps, but the dies. And I die cut the shadow layer out of the kiwi cardstock. And here's the top layering piece, which I die cut out of banana. And I did put double-sided adhesive on the back, but I'm just going to snip off the top of this because I don't want that to be in the yellow color. I'm actually going to put that in a different color. I'll probably go with like a darker green. Let me just get all these pieces out of here. And then I'm going to go ahead and layer that on the bottom. So I decided to go with the twig cardstock, which is a medium brown instead of a darker green, just to have a little bit more contrast. So I just die cut that top part and put some double-sided adhesive. And now I'm just going to add that to the top. So part of the pineapple dies had this welcome word die, and I'm just going to add that. I die cut it out of the same brown cardstock as I die cut that, and then the shadow layer is out of the same kiwi cardstock, and I'm just adding that to the shadow layer. So I'm going to go ahead and add these to my oven mitt. And then the last thing that I'm going to do is add a bow. So kind of give this a little bit of a tropical feel. And we'll add the pineapple. Isn't that cute? So while I'm waiting for my hot glue gun to warm up, I'm going to go ahead and do the card base. So to do the card base, I'm going to take a piece of white cardstock and I'm just going to fold that in half. And then I'm going to take the largest die in the set. Let me just make sure that's the largest one, and it is. And you can either have it open from the top, but I can't on mine because I'm not using a long enough sheet of paper. The Stamps of Life does sell longer white cardstock, so if you want to have it open from the top, you can purchase that longer cardstock, but you can see I don't have enough room here. So if you wanted it to open from the top, you would put the die slightly above the fold in the cardstock. But I'm gonna have mine open from the side, so I'm gonna put my die slightly to the left of that fold in the cardstock, and I'm just going to add a piece of washi tape to hold this down, and I'm going to run that through my die cutting machine. So when that comes out of your die cut machine, this is your card base. So now we're going to go ahead and add this directly to the front of that card base. So I'm going to add glue to the back side of this, and then I'm going to have this open and just lay flat, and I'm going to start with the bottom edge. I think that would be the easiest, just to line that up. And then once it's lined up, and here on the left, then I just press down, and you can see there's your card. But let's go ahead and add that ribbon down there at the bottom. So I'm just going to take my hot glue gun and add a little bit of hot glue to the back of this, and then I'm going to add that there. And isn't that adorable? I love that. So it just says welcome. It's just like a little pot holder if it were hanging in your kitchen. It just says really cute. It's really super adorable. And then you can open up and write your message. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. And please don't forget to click that subscribe button and turn on your bell notifications. So thanks so much for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.